What's going on, guys? Phantasm Mask here, and welcome to my Let's Play of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis for the PlayStation 1. So, I'm going to let this opening cinematic play, and then I'll start talking a little bit about the game.
Is an ordinary day in September, an ordinary day in Raccoon City, a city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I suppose they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness. If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
This is Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070. Over. What are they?
Alright, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which is probably one of my favorite Resident Evil games, believe it or not. And it's probably just going to be a little secret between you and me, but I actually kind of prefer Resident Evil 3 over 2, or even 1 for that matter. I think it might be because Resident Evil 3 was one of the first Resident Evil games I actually finished. When I first got my PlayStation, it was the first Resident Evil game I had ever received, and I really enjoyed it. The overall atmosphere, the act of desperation, like even what this small little cutscene shows with Jill being cornered by zombies. It just overall has a much I don't really know how to describe it, but there's definitely a very large difference in tone from the second game. The second game had a little bit more of the whole Umbrella conspiracy in it, whereas this one, you're just trying to get out, and you have an almost, what seems like an unstoppable killing machine following you, trying to terminate you throughout Raccoon City. Now, a couple of things about this game is, number one, I understand that speed and being lightweight in a zombie outbreak would give you a benefit from running from hordes of zombies, but Jill's a little exposed, don't you think? I sometimes wonder what Capcom was thinking with the design choice for Jill with the whole two-top and mini-skirt thing going on. I really don't understand the logic behind that other than to try to give sex appeal to a character who really didn't have any of that in the first game. A couple of differences between Resident Evil 2 and 3 is now when you reach a stairwell, you don't have to hit the X button to go up it. You can just go up. That's a bit of a fantastic thing. It also introduces an ammo crafting system, which I will admit can be a bit tedious at times. I think it's mostly remembering the formulas for what gunpowder makes what type of ammo. At times that can get a little tedious, but overall it's not that big of a deal. You always have these little instruction manuals in your file which will teach you how to, I think, yes, the how to play game instructions. B will teach you how to create all different types of ammo, whether it be handgun, magnum, anything of that sort. And as you can clearly tell, I am playing Resident Evil 3 on regular mode. I haven't done a hard mode playthrough for this in a very long time, so me trying to jump into doing this on a hard difficulty, I don't really feel like that's the best idea, and also to bring a pleasant viewing experience to you guys, I don't really think that would be a wise decision. We'll take the handgun and the shotgun, leave the magnum inside, and take the boutique key. Don't really need the assault rifle. They give it to you in this game when you start out on the, I guess, the normal mode, but it's really not worth it in the end to use. Zombies by themselves are already bullet sponges. I don't understand why you would, unless you could precisely hit them in the head with it. It's really useless. I much rather prefer the shotgun over anything else, or even the magnum if I've got ammo to spare. But if I'm using magnum on a normal zombie, then there's something wrong and I'm not playing the game correctly. So, hopefully this will be a lot faster of a run than like the ending of my Resident Evil 2 Let's Play. I'm also going to segregate these parts. I'm going to make them a little bit shorter. I'm going to cut them up, maybe only do 20 minutes at a time. Of course, I'm going to record more than 20 minutes at once, but it will only be posted in increments of maybe around 20 minutes, just so that way, because I understand there are people out there who don't have an hour to sit in front of their computer and watch me play a video game and commentate over it. People lead very busy lives. What else? Also, that was also a bit of a common complaint, too, that I received with some of my previous Let's Plays, is that the parts were way too long. And I think that will also help facilitate viewership by shortening. Alright, now here's definitely a part where we want to break out our trusted Benelli. Also, another thing that Resident Evil 3 introduced, which to this day I've never actually had it work correctly, was that there's a melee system, an escape system from enemies and stuff. Like you can tackle enemies as you saw Jill do, but to this day I have never found out how to properly activate it. It's one of those things where if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Never quite understood how it worked, so I don't rely on it. To me, cases of drinking water. I love me some drinking water. What else to talk about? So, with the story takes place the same time, and a little bit. I think it takes place a little bit before Resident Evil 2. And then during the events of Resident Evil 2, all the way up until the end. So they overlap with each other in terms of the timeline. And I think that they got the inspiration from this game from the B scenarios from Resident Evil 2 that I love very much. With Mr. X following you around, I thought that was one of the best things about Resident Evil 2. And with this, you have like a super tyrant. Granted, Mr. X was an enemy that you don't take for granted. Nemesis, although he does have a bit of a weakness in terms of his melee attacks, he also has a rocket launcher which could easily take you out. And in terms of strategy, against Nemesis, you really want to do the same thing like with Mr. X. If you can run, run. If you're cornered, granted you'll have to take him out, you'll need some serious firepower. Again, magnum rounds, acid rounds with the grenade launcher work wonders. So, or if you can get your hands on the rocket launcher that you find in this game, which completing the game unlocks Mercenaries mode, allowing you to earn money towards buying exclusive weapons such as an unlimited ammo assault rifle, Gatling gun, rocket launcher, and then even infinite ammo for every weapon in the game. Really is a nice thing that they put into this game, which a little bit on Mercenaries mode. I think Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil 3 is vastly superior than any of the later installments. Granted, I have never played Mercenaries mode for Code Veronica. 4 and 5, I think that they did Mercenaries mode all wrong. I think making it be like a survival mode where you could wait in one place and just shoot melee characters, I think that's wrong. I like what they did here, where you have a bomb inside your body and you're required to run to a certain objective, going through waves of different types of enemies that you never know what will show up. I think that was a great way to do it, and I kind of wish Capcom would come back with a mode like that. Here we see one of the few star survivors, well, temporary survivor until the yeah, there we go. Got zombie. Mr. Brad Vickers, which there's a nice Easter egg in RE2 where you can find him as a zombie, and he requires a ridiculous amount of ammo to kill, but he gives you the alternate costume key, which you can use to change your outfits for Leon or Claire.
What could they do? Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
There is no escape, Luke. Sorry, I had a bit of a Darth Vader moment there. Alright, a payphone. Well, we don't want the payphone, we want the lighter here. Okay. Use this. Combine. And we're off. So, Resident Evil 3, I have played Resident Evil 3 recently, so unlike the last third of the RE2 Let's Play, I should be able to properly navigate through this game. There is one puzzle, though. One puzzle that exists in this game that I just... In fact, no, there's two of them, I'm sorry. There are two puzzles in this game I absolutely can't stand, and the very first time I played it, I'm like, I have no idea what to do. Alright, definitely a shotgun moment. Of course. Just shooting him in the legs. There we go. And then we can finish them off with the Beretta Samurai Edge. Alright. Moving right along. Also, the alternate costume that I'm using for Jill, I felt like wearing it for some reason. It's from a game called Dino Crisis, which I've never played, but I've heard very good things about it. Who knows, I might just play it one day for the channel. Say no to zombified Dobermans, ladies and gentlemen. Did Bob Barker not warn you when he told you to spay and neuter your pets? Alright. Just in case, let's pop in here. I want to get out the Magnum before we have our first encounter. Alright. Pop in here. We're not going to need the lighter for a little while, so... I'll put this back into an item box once I get inside the station, but sometimes if I get into a desperate situation, I may need it. Another thing I've noticed between RE2 and RE3 is that, yes, this is supposed to be the other side of where Leon entered the police station, or Leon or Claire entered the police station, but it looks completely different. So I'm not quite sure why Capcom didn't keep that very basic piece of continuity together. I guess just to make it seem like it's not the same map level design as RE2. And here we meet Nemesis, who will be our primary antagonist throughout the entire game, hunting you down, snatching your people up. And we get introduced into a gameplay mechanic that I thought was very well done in this game, where you have a choice. You can either run inside or fight with Nemesis. And if done correctly, we will get the card case and we will run away from our tall, muscular, decaying, tentacle-infested friend. So, one thing that Resident Evil 3 does better in terms of the creature following you around between Mr. X and Nemesis is that Nemesis does things like what you see there, where he's banging on the door trying to get in. Of course, why he can't get in, I'm not exactly sure. Alright. Check. Stars card. Alright. (0131). Remember that, kids. Alright, that's been boarded up, so not exactly sure why, but again, continuity is very strange with RE2 and RE3. Things are mixed up, things are boarded up, areas are sealed off that shouldn't be sealed off, I guess. Then again, I think they try to explain that in the in various forms of I don't really know how to say various forms of documents that you find in RE2, which say like certain areas are boarded up, some areas aren't. So, blue gem, and we can't actually. Oh, that's right. Our inventory is full. It's okay. I'm sure we got to clear out this room over here. Awesome pellet spread from the shotgun. Also, I've noticed a bit of a dash mechanic sometimes with the zombies, unlike in Resident Evil 2. Some of them, when you're a little bit close, will try to stumble and attack you. Alright, let's put the Magnum back in the item box. We're really not going to need that right now. We very seldom need the Magnum unless we're forced to fight with Nemesis. So we'll also throw the blue gem in there. It's not necessary at this point. Alright. Now let's go open up that locked case in the evidence room. Alright. It's locked with a number-based lock. 0, 1, 3, 1. And the emblem key, which will allow us to get into the STARS office. Alright. Sorry if you notice I'm kind of running into walls a little bit. And I primarily play on the Xbox 360, and playing on a PlayStation 3, sometimes just the feel of the analog sticks kind of throws me off. They're both vastly different controllers, feeling completely different in my opinion, and they really, ooh, taken by surprise by a tubby zombie. Tubby zombie. Alright. Okay. Explore through the STARS office. Let's see, we will grab the lockpick, and then we will be on our merry way. So, part 2, we'll explore a little bit more of the police station.